Joseph, in the US, inmates in privately run prisons receive as little as 23 cents per hour, with few rights and protections. Do you think this is a sign that we are in a new era of slave labor?
This is not new. Come on, seriously. This is, first of all, this has been going on for a long time now, a few decades, the privatization of the prison system. There always is variations of slavery we're going to create. I mean, we are at an all-time high of slavery in this world, period, in the whole world. You pinpoint in the US, but it's across the board. Sexual slavery being right up there is one of the highest forms of slavery that we experience today. Again, in the history of humankind, we're at an all-time high in slavery. So, is this nothing new about it. Nothing NEW about it. This is just another way in which we continue to try to enslave people. We continue to try to get more for less. We continue to do it because you're dealing, and it's easier to do it prison systems because it's a survival point. All you need to provide in a prison system is basic survival needs, survival mindsets. The training is just for survival. There's no human dignity in this. There's no expansiveness of being more dignified as a human being, and then what do you give that person? And the excuse to be able to do it in that realm is, well, they're animals anyway. They've broken the law there. That's the reasoning. That's the rationale. Though the purpose is supposed to uplift them back to a level of self-dignity that they can feel and hence express in return and provide in return to the rest of the world. So the argument is incredibly faulty. It's not new. As long as there's a willingness to live in survival mode, as long as in your personal life you're willing to live in just basic survival mode, and as survivalists said, when you're dealing, this is survivalist, when you're dealing in survival mode, your skill set is diminished. When you insist that it's something to pat yourself on the back, to be a survivalist, well, then you are perpetuating this slavery mentality. Because you don't need much. The human being doesn't need much to survive. We most certainly don't need deep emotional fulfillment. You don't need mental fulfillment. You don't even need much physical fulfillment. You just need minimal. And so that is what enslaves us. This survival mentality, this belief that this world is based in the survival of the fittest. That's what leaves us all vulnerable to these systems that people create of slavery type systems, of variations of plantation type situations. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that you have in the States an overpopulation of minority prisoners similar to the 1800s and 1700s of black plantations with black slaves. It's just a variation. It's not new. We just work our way around the law. Right? You have to understand. Right? You have to understand that these people who readdress and reshape these systems into something we're already accustomed to and know, which is a slavery type situation, are clever beasts. These are subtle beasts that occur very nice and well intended, these little subtle beasts, but they're beasts nonetheless, who are using the rest of us as prey. So pray that you work your minds out of the survival mode. You get yourself into something past survival. Live your life beyond just getting by and just surviving. And you will add energy and new ideas to the systems that we presently live in, and you will demand more. And if you do it long enough, you'll command more. Right? This is not new. This is all born from our personal ignorance. That's why it's allowed to continue.